Hello, everybody who loves boxing. Yes, so last night I unfortunately didn't get to watch the biggest fights. Yeah, there weren't that many really, but still, there are some happening tonight also. Actually, that cruiserweight fight, Chris Billon Smith versus Mateusz Master. Yeah, but anyway, as I predicted, Devin Haney won. I just had a feeling because he's a younger guy. He's in his prime, and Regis Prograis hasn't fought that many really world class opponents in the past four years, and yeah. So you know how it is. I mean, not William, but Jose Zepeda gave him a tough fight, even though he in the end knocked him out. But yeah, I mean, he was fighting a completely different fighter here and a boxer, technician, and all that. And yeah, I think pro- probably that inactivity, not fighting enough better fighters has kind of done Prograis in, and yeah, which is a shame because he is an exciting fighter. But yeah, I mean, 34 years old now. I don't know how much of a future he has now. Yeah. Yeah, no, Haney has entered the 140 division, which is pretty stacked. I mean, you got people like Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. You also have who else do we have there? Let me remind myself. There are some people also who have never before been considered serious contenders who are now have emerged as such in the uh, light welterweight division. So yeah, you got Teofimo Lopez, still Arnold Barboza, Subriel Matias. That's a really strong contender. Gary Antoine Russell, that's right. Sandor Martin, Jose, Pedraza, Jack Kettle, Brandon Lee. Yeah, there are a few. Steve Claggett, as I wanted to mention, has been really doing well lately. Yeah, so yeah, I'm really excited to see how Haney does against some of these at least fighters, especially a guy like Gervonta Davis, who is a very cagey guy. Despite being a puncher, he's a very cagey guy and who really knows how to set up a knockout, and also Ryan Garcia with his height and his power and all that, his athleticism. Yeah, so I mean, Haney even managed to knock Ruga down pro grade. Uh, but he was far from knocking him out, as his father had boldly, boldly predicted, and yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. But anyway, yeah. There were a couple other upsets, let's say. This wasn't really an upset, but yeah, anyway. Also, Robesi Ramirez actually lost, yeah, a majority decision to Rafael Espinoza, yeah, the freak of nature. He just seemed like, well, maybe it's not about the height, big disadvantage height to reach that, but rather it seems that Ramirez didn't do enough at first. He gave away too many of the early rounds, and then later he he exploded and he scored a knockdown, but was also down himself once, and it was a very good fight. They say a fight of the year candidate. I read about it, haven't yet seen it, but yeah, I mean, and Pedro, what's his name, Espinoza, yeah, in the end said that he would gladly give Ramirez a rematch, and yeah, so I don't know where. I mean, yeah, but obviously it is a problem. I mean, for a guy who's 5'6" fighting a 6'1" guy, yeah, forget about it. And one who is tough and can fight, can box, and all that, can hit you, and yeah, Ramirez did look good in those middle rounds, and yeah, and had some really good landed some really good punches and hurt Espinoza, but was also kind of hurt himself, and yeah, I mean it's just a part of the game. Sometimes you just run into, maybe it's not even it wasn't his best night, maybe not, but sometimes you just run into a guy who's just too hard to beat for some reason. As they say, he has your number, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe it was just this night that it didn't work for Ramirez. Hopefully, yeah, because I wouldn't like to see him, his career getting derailed because he's a very exciting fighter, a very talented one. Yeah, and also on the women's side, we saw a pretty big upset, but I guess it wasn't that much of a surprise. Ebony Bridges lost her IBF Bantam title to uh, Yoshida. Her last name was, I don't remember her first name anyway. Yeah. So, it was hardly a surprise also because Ebony has had her mind in everything but boxing, in the last 10 months at least or whatever. It's just the way it goes when you become too popular and too immersed in other things, and appearing in the medias too much. It's the death for every boxer, really. I mean, we just look at what happened Tyson Fury. I mean, you know. So, but and he was a very talented and still is boxer, but he just let himself be fall in love with his own, media persona. Mio Yoshida, her name is. I just saw now. So she really kind of, messed up Bridges quite good. It seems, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, let this. I hope this will be a lesson for Ebony now. I mean, if you really wanna be a boxer and keep your title also, then don't strut around doing all this stuff. It's just bullshit. Having an OnlyFans account and your own beer company with Conor McGregor, and I don't like the image she gives boxing. Let's put it that. Let's be totally honest. Like everybody will agree, yeah, she looks good, yeah, all right. So what? But she's a boxer. She's not some kind of singer or actress or dancer that we should all just say, oh yeah, she's hot, so everything is forgiven. Everything is good just as long as she keeps showing up in you know, those hot outfits, during weigh-ins, and it's just bullshit, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, her last fight before this, which was on today's date actually. So she hadn't fought for a year also, and that's quite alarming. And that really irritated me. How can you not fight for a year when you are a champion? I mean, come on. Even in women's boxing, that's just not. That's very irresponsible. It shows that you. What kind of signal does it give? It says you are only taking your boxing career half seriously, right? And I think that's the problem. That's what she did actually. She didn't take it seriously enough. That's for sure. So that's why she lost the fight. And she was facing a woman, a single mother, who was very hungry for success to win that title. And I'm glad for her. She deserved it. Way to go. Kudos to you, Mio. Yeah. So, I hope this will I mean, this will get Bridges to either focus on boxing more or just give it up completely, you know, or just do fights now and then, just for the sake of fun and entertainment. But you cannot be a champion and like not fight for a year. Come on, man. Come on. And then you strut around in these various outfits and like some porn star or whatever. Yeah, whatever, but it's not how a true boxing champion should behave. I mean, you never saw Cecilia Brækhus do that, for instance, right? So, or somebody like I don't know, Holly Holm, anybody like that. So yeah. So anyway, those were the my comments on those fights and. Oh yeah, that's right. Tony Yoka lost also for a third time in a row. This guy, I don't know what's wrong with him, but he lost to a former cruiserweight who was stopped by Arsene Glamirian actually in a fight for a WBA title. Yeah, so he lost on points to Riyad Merhi, who is a lot shorter guy by the way. And but yeah, I mean Yoka just doesn't have what it takes. Obviously, all he has is the size and the power, pretty much like Deontay Wilder. But at least Wilder has enough athleticism. He can move around, and he's not so slow as Yoka. Yoka just is not gonna make it. In today's heavyweight scene. No way, man. I think pretty much it is over for him already because losing three fights in a row and two of them against guys that were you know I mean one of them is like what 42 or something, Takam, and the other guy now is a former cruiserweight who didn't have that great career at cruiserweight either, so had it been somebody like Usyk, so another thing, but of course. So yeah, Yoka is probably on his way out, definitely. Yeah. So that's how it goes. But he was exposed, by Martin Bacoli first, and then by Takam. Yeah. All right. So that was it for this time. I'll be back. I think this will be tomorrow probably with another prediction video. All right. Take it easy and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.